the Hamstead hamlet, with the letters in his sack. Through hedgerows, mud and winding roads that never quite ran back. Rain or shine, through wind and tide, he'd knock on every door, a postman with a steady step along that quiet shore. But something strange began to grow with every house he'd meet, for folk would press into his hand a fossil dark and neat. Here you are, they'd smile and say, for bringing post once more a crocodile skewed from ancient mud of Hamstead's hidden shore. Oh, the postman of Hamstead shore, with letters in his hand, came back each day with fossil finds from that ancient land. From paper notes to old bones, his rounds began to change, for every door he knocked upon brought something rather strange.
UK Fossils follows all laws and regulations regarding fossil hunting. In some of our videos we use hammers to extract fossils from rocks. These rocks are not part of the bedrock. They are ex situ rocks that have naturally broken away from the bedrock and are legal to collect under SSSI regulations.
So the Bouldnor to Hamstead section is quite full of trees that have all fallen down across the foreshore, so it can be sort of tricky to navigate, but this area is constantly being washed out, and it is the main section for fossils to be found. Most of the crocodile, turtle remains, etc. are all found along this stretch here, and it goes quite a long way actually. There's quite a lot of stretch. There's a good 4.5 kilometres worth of coast to explore. So despite the fact that a lot of people come here, you're always going to find fossils. Now the tide is up high at the moment, so we are going to carry on walking as far as we can and then sort of walk slowly back. We've just come away from our previous location, look at the Bembridge Marl insect beds. So its low tide is actually around about 6 o'clock tonight, so lots of time left. Now the clocks have gone for a bit of summertime, we've got that extra hour, which is very handy.
The fossils you will find here come from the Oligocene period. This is around 30 million years old. It is very interesting because this period is mostly missing from the UK, so here on the Isle of Wight it gives a very good opportunity to collect fossils from this period. At Hamstead, the Bouldnor Formation can be seen. It consists of two members, the Hamstead Member and the Bouldnor Member. At foreshore level, the Eocene Bembridge Marls Member can sometimes be seen.
So I've been searching this area here for the past 2 minutes or so, and we've found some interesting turtle bones. And you can really see the detail on here. Turn this one over. You can just really notice that honeycomb. Is that? That's not. That is.
Yeah, that's crocodile.
Yeah, big crocodile.
We've been finding a lot of crocodile remains in this area here. It's a good area to search because it's washing this area out. These are a couple of crocodile parts that we found here. This is a crocodile scoot. And you can tell it's crocodile because you've got these sort of holes. And they're quite large holes as well. And this here is a piece of crocodile jaw. You can see where the teeth would have been. So the crocodile here is of the species Diplocynodon. It's not as common as turtle, but it's the second most common fossil you'll find. That's sort of vertebra.
Oh.
Hayden's got a bit of turtle vertebra. So this stretch of coastline here between Hamstead and Bouldnor is actually very dangerous. Now, unlike other locations, it's not the fact that it's dangerous because you might get cut off by the sea or the fact that there could be rock falls. Here is because these landslides here are so sinking and the clay can be extremely dangerous. 1 foot wrong and you can get stuck and sink quite down far actually. And the surface in areas sometimes looks quite hard, in other areas it can look soft, and it can be very misleading. Unfortunately, as you can see, the sea very rarely goes all the way back from some of the biggest slipped areas, and the trees make it very difficult to climb over. So naturally, to try and get through this area, you naturally try to go up and try to climb on these slips. Now at the moment we've had a lot of dry weather. This is really dry and there are still areas which are really sinking. If I stay here for too long, you can see, look, my foot's going down and down and down. If I stay too long on these, I'll sink down. There's some areas here that you'll just go straight down. So we can't get any further today. We can't go any more further than this section. Because it's just too dangerous. So we're going to sort of head back now the tide is now receding, go back to the bay which is a bit more safer, and have a look there for some material. These shingle areas here, where you've got a natural beach in between the bays, these are the best areas to actually find fossils. The shingle makes it so much more easier to find anything than the sticky clay a lot further on. As well as turtle and crocodile, and of course fish as well, because they're quite common here. But you can also find some early mammals. This site is actually really important for some of the mammals that's been found here. But there's also crustaceans as well. So crabs and lobsters. They're not so common, but they do turn up. The best way to find fossils is simply by scanning the foreshore and looking in the shingle. Some of the bones can be really small, so a hand lens might come in handy.
So down at Hamstead Bay here, it's very good just to take a moment and just go down on your hands and knees like this and sift through the shingle, move bits around. Because you'll find bits of bone that actually aren't on the surface. There's a piece there, and I found about 3 pieces a minute ago all in one place. Yeah, that's your piece. Where's that? I thought I saw a piece a minute ago. Where'd that go? Yeah. Ah, well done. That's a bit of crocodile, because you've got holes or indentations on there. It's amazing how much you can find. There's another piece there, look. Very tiny fragments, but you can get larger pieces, of course. What is that? Oh my days, Akel! Akel's found a croc tooth. No way, I said you'd find a tooth, Akel. Oh. Akel, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Fantastic.
I'll take that to my collection.
And we got it on film, I hope.
It's a nice piece of turtle carapace. This particular carapace is from the turtle emis. You can identify these because the surface is more smooth. The second turtle you can find here is more bumpy, got sort of a dimple on the surface.
There are 2 types of turtle here. If you find the carapace sections, which are more commonly found, then they belong to one of 2 species. The left-hand side is the more common, and this is an emis. The carapace on the right-hand side is of the species Trionyx. You can tell them apart because Trionyx has little dimples on the surface. Crocodile scutes, however, look very different. The pits are much more bigger and deeper.
So I'm just coming back to these bay areas up here. Earlier the tide was too high to get round very far. And actually there's only an hour left before low tide, but I'm hoping it just might have gone out just that little bit further to try and get in these bay areas actually. But it is tricky. So most of the stuff you are going to find in the shingle, but of course anything big is going to be washed out from the fresh slips. It's very, very sinky here, but I'm just going to go this one on my own while they're there the other side in a bit more safer environment for them. I'm going to just hunt along this side and just see if I can see any big stuff really. They are very, very rare, but you can actually find complete turtles along here. Of course, jaw sections full of teeth of crocodile and mammals. There's quite a lot that can be found. A good storm obviously is the best time to come after that, but as I say, it's just so dodgy. The fact that it's just so you can sink really easily here. You do have to be really careful actually. So these areas are now exposed a lot more than they were earlier. Just seeing anything big. Most of the bone actually is really light, so the sea, when it washes it out, it often deposits them on the beach areas, so you will get more there. But I'm just trying my luck and just seeing how far we can get now. But as you can see, we can't get very far. We've managed to get a bit further up, sort of halfway there, but the slips are just too wet at the moment, so we just can't. There's a middle bit that we got a bit stuck there. It's not worth the risk going any further. So that's the problem with this site. Summertime, I think if you have a long period of prolonged dry weather, you're going to have a lot better chance of getting round here. But then of course you might not make the finds.
So I picked this up just down there in the shingle. The tide has gone out quite a bit now. It actually looks like a tooth. I'm pretty sure it is. So what I picked up a moment ago down here in the shingle is an early mammal tooth. And this is of the species Amphicophria. I found another one down here. There are three main early mammals that can be found along this part of the coastline: both Rheodon, which was a type of Anthracophria which I found today, a semi-aquatic skinny hippopotamus similar in lifestyle to early hippos, Entelodon, a large pig-like omnivore with powerful jaws often called a hell pig, Elomarix, a small deer-like herbivore that lived in woodland and wetland environments. So we've had a really good day down at Hamstead today, and as you can see we've found so many pieces of bone. We've got pieces of crocodile, we've got pieces of turtle plates, turtle bone, we've even found a crocodile tooth, and we've managed to find some fish pieces as well, and we've even got the early mammal tooth there. So it's been a really productive day. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy fossil hunting, like and subscribe to our channel for regular videos on where to collect, hints, tips and location updates. UK Fossils always collects responsibly and is proud to have created the Fossil Code, which helps educate others. We encourage you to read the Code of Conduct and guidelines on our website before going fossil hunting yourself. Safe and sensible collecting is always paramount. The information provided in our videos is for general guidance only. While we aim to ensure accuracy, UK Fossils cannot accept responsibility for any errors, omissions or actions taken based on this content. It is your responsibility to check local regulations and land access permissions before collecting.